Hi, I'm Councillor Grattan of the Your Northern Beaches independent team. As a council, we've actually done a lot over the last 4 years in relation to environment and climate change. We've passed the Environment and Climate Change Strategy, we've done the Climate Change Action Plan, and we declared a climate emergency back in 2019. So in terms of the measures that have been put in place, Council has already reduced their emissions by 80%, largely through the renewable energy contract, with 100% renewable energy now for Northern Beaches Council. We've also implemented solar panels on many council buildings, and we have the largest solar panel installation at the Manly Boy Charlton Pool. We've also had a community battery trial that has gone ahead up in Belrose. We have transitioned the acquisition of council fleet to electric vehicles and have put in place some electric vehicle charging stations in council properties, included it in some developments, and also we are looking at rolling that out in the public, and there's a recent smart parking zones that have been put in place. So the climate change strategy has indicated that we will have a aspirational target of net zero by 2030, and we're well on track to achieve that. We've also looking at how can we encourage a reduction in climate emissions more broadly across the community. And so the way that I would go about that is really looking at what are those key buckets, those key sources of emissions. So the largest one is energy, electricity, which is 56% of the total carbon emissions on the Northern Beaches. So clearly reducing the demand for energy and increasing solar panel uptake and renewable energy uptake. The use of community batteries, continuing strategies. We also look at the new LEP that is coming up and what are the building standards and so forth that are going to be included in those. We can up the sustainability requirements through the basic standards so that we can have more energy efficient buildings. Transport is the second largest cause of emissions on the Northern Beaches at 29%, and so moving, and I continue to encourage the active transport and public use of public transport as a way to get cars off the road. And in fact, the Transports Move strategy that was passed a couple of years ago now has got a target in there of reducing cars on the road by 30% across the Northern Beaches. Methane is another area, and gas, another area source of emission, much smaller source of the overall mix, but something that has a really strong impact on global warming, as we know, 23 times the amount of carbon. So low-hanging fruit. So what can we do there to reduce methane emissions? So, meat-free Mondays or something like that, but we can continue looking at that. But also waste and compost, and moving to taking food scraps and things out of the waste stream and putting them into compost is a really effective way of trying to reduce those emissions. And also we're still working with the council staff on other waste strategies to actually reduce our overall waste but also to increase the recycled content of those waste streams. So there are a couple of the areas. I've gone over time, so I'm going to have to edit this video. See ya.